Oh my goodness. I am so sorry for the delay. Mercury retrograde, you little trickster. Yes. So for some reason, internet is working for my husband, but not for me. I don't know why. So excuse me for the lateness. I was here, but I had to go through my phone. And anyway, these are the things of life. I am thankful that you're here, and let's see. Yes, hello. What is happening with the chat? Let's make sure I can see this here. I don't know. There we go. Now I can see you. So I'm here today. I'm sure I lost it, but that is, everything in perfect time, right? So today I am here talking about fear because it's one of those things that pops up and is popping up a lot these days in the environment, in the world, with all that's going on. And it's definitely, even without all the madness in the world, is one of those things that pops up a lot during, that path to pregnancy. So I wanted to hit on that because it's something that's been coming up with clients. It's been something that's coming up in life. And there's my daughter's artwork there. She decided I need something of mine up there. Uh, Random fact. And so, just getting myself regrounded. I just thought maybe I'd take a quick breath with you since I had the madness before. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes if you're not driving or whatnot. Just take a moment with me and take a deep breath in to get all the energy you need for the moment. And exhaling when you're ready, just letting go of whatever was outside this room before you sat down with me. So, fear. It's one of those things, isn't it? So, if I'm going to hit just briefly on the outside world, definitely as you're on your path, as far as what's happening outside of you, outside your windows, your doors, in many places, most places, there's a lot of uncertainty and unknown with what exactly is going to be next day, next week, next month with hi, good to see you, Angela, and Vibrant Immunity. Amazing. You should go and see her videos if you haven't already. uh, there's so much uncertainty, which creates a lot of tension. And, on your path anyway, when you're looking at creating the best environment in for yourself around you and inside of you, it's working with the things that pop up, the limiting beliefs and any contraction. So if you don't already know, of course, when there is contraction and tension, I've mentioned this before, your cortisol levels go up. Just imagine it's the difference between sitting like this or sitting like this. Physically, even if you can't, most of us can't perfectly control our minds, meditation, prayer, walking, looking at nature, these things can help. But also just of opening your chest, looking at where, just checking in during the day, what's happening with your body language. I kid you not, just simply opening up, allowing your heart to receive, to create that receiving feeling, opening up actually changes your cortisol levels. Isn't that to do? Because the mind is set up to primally protect. And that doesn't always mean keeping you on your path of light, that it certainly keeps you safe. Safe isn't always the answer. Sometimes it requires your life, your path, where you want to go, requires a level of risk. Because with midlife health, now today we're talking about midlife pregnancy, there's always a risk. It's not because of your age, it's because of what's happening in your mind, what you do or don't give yourself permission for, and the ideas that start kind of piling in on you, and what you decide might be a truth. As soon as there's a little niggling of, ooh, can that be true? It starts to come in. And again, that contraction happens in the cortisol levels, which affects your creativity as well as receiving. And you have to receive. However, it is that you are going down your path of health and pregnancy, receiving is the number one answer. Receiving, allowing, softening, it's femininity. of receiving. And that's not always the easiest thing because I know if you're here and you have that alignment with me, there's that piece of you that's very independent and fierce. And you've maybe been the mother, not only Ohana, the people around you. There's that mothering energy, or you've been taking care of yourself and your needs and the needs of people around you. And that's softening that to the opening, the fear that somebody might not step up is strong. And even in my own circle, and even invitations in this doesn't mean have no expectations, but it means, for example, let's talk about something really simple because it starts with the simple things before it becomes, I'm going to have perfect health and baby. It starts with the small things so that you can practice and remind your body and your psyche of what's possible. Sorry about that. Possible. So it's this piece of, for example, I will give you a perfect example around this. I'm working with this with my own partner around getting our daughter out of the door, and that require into school, which requires me letting go of perfection, meaning the way I think things should be done and in the timing I think they need to be done. And that's a lot of willpower. And so traumas, and there normally would be this, I'm going to step in because this isn't working. And so I need to step up again. Instead, it's, taking some deep breaths. Things are challenging and listening, but just allowing myself to step back and receive the support and the help. Now, that can come in different ways. It can be as simple as someone asks you if you want a drink of water, and your automatic answer is no, even when you might be thirsty because you don't want to put them out or you're used to handling things yourself, whatever it is. So, starting with small things like that, and you think, now, how is this related to fear? But it is, because fear and contraction, it's very interrelated with fear of somebody showing up and actually fulfilling your need. Requires a level of vulnerability, and that vulnerability, which is necessary for intimacy, that's intimacy with your body and that relationship, meaning there's a deep trust there as well as with a partner. So whether we're talking about that first relationship, which is to yourself and your body, or that other relationship with somebody else who might be involved in creating a pregnancy, these relationships are so important, but it starts with you. And that's the tough work, right? I, I sit there, I kid you not, I have to keep breathing. And, even in the moments, just creating awareness around saying yes when you might not normally say yes. Or in the moments where you say, okay, I'm going to let this person or the universe or God or gods, whatever it is that you believe in, I'm going to surrender. I'm going to let go of the fear of what if, and the uncertainty and the unknown, which is what's happening in the world. So it's just going to double, triple, quadruple that. That which is already there, because um, when you've been on this path and either haven't gotten pregnant, or you have gotten pregnant and you've lost it, or you've had other traumas along the way, or even with your last birth, or with your kids, if you had kids before, or with the relationships around you, there's been something that's caused some tension. There's fear there. That's the word for it. It's fear. And you can't go around it. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You have to go through. And that's a very powerful path. And that's why I'm here right now, today, because I want to do whatever I can to help you find your way with that. And yeah, that's what's on my mind. I'm just wondering, I'll take a pause. How are you doing right now? Any questions? Anything that's come up? Is there any aha? You can type a one in the chat if there's anything there for you as far as, yeah, I get you, or that's happened to me. Uh, Okay, I need to keep working on that part of me that thinks that when she asks for help, she's burdening people. Yes. Oh, I got a chill up my spine right now. And I actually feel tears when I think about this. I don't know. That's the feeling that came up. It's really, really strong medicine. And especially as women who, we're told that we somehow in the background in most cultures, there's something in there that we have to really carry a lot of weight on our shoulders. And that asking for help is weakness. And regardless of what we might say here, oh, I know that asking for help is courage and all that, but it's painful. It actually feels uncomfortable, which is why I'm suggesting to start in a small way rather than starting with the big, like, can you make 3 meals related? Because I realized that I was having so much tension and over days making meals was too hard for me. It was just too much. So that was something simple. Well, not always simple because not everybody can cook and or wants to. But then it can also be so you buy something that's healthy-ish or is in line with what makes sense for you, and you might let go a little bit. Okay, we get a healthier pizza, or whatever it might be. And there's a lot of options in the world now, depending on where you are. Uh, but start with something small to practice, because if you start with the big things like I need to cry on your shoulder and they're not used to that, or whatever it is that feels big to you, it's overwhelming. And if it's too overwhelming, you're not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So start with the easy things like really just something small, whatever that is. It can be as simple as, hey, could you please put the toilet paper on the roll? And not in a nagging way, but before it comes up, you know what? It really relaxes me when I come in and I see that you put the toilet paper on the roll with the paper over the top, because I'm in there all the time. Or uh, I'm using that toilet paper maybe more than you are, but I really appreciate that. Whatever it is, like think about the feeling that you get when the person does even these tiny things, and share that piece with them when they've done it, how it feels. And most partners, unless you're in a moment of conflict, actually want to please you. And we just don't want to have to say it. I don't have to tell them what to do. But these small things of saying, like, this brings me joy when you do this. This really feels supportive for me. I said this to Mats about, I feel so relaxed when I come in and the sink is empty. It is, it gives me a feel to a lighter feeling. Something simple like not having, when the laundry is taken out of the dryer and not sitting there for 3 days, I feel da da da, whatever. I feel like you're following through, or if you could take something from start to finish. It's all about communication, and so practicing with those little things, and I get why it feels like a burden, uh, and yet remember, just a little flip on that sometimes it's actually selfish of us. I know, I don't even like that word too much, but it comes off that way, that we don't allow others to help. I had a friend say to me once, thank you. I had always just been used to being the superhero and kind of coming in and helping people and being there and not crying. And, I didn't have anything to cry about. And then I did one day. I was really distraught about something and I contacted a friend and she said, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for letting me be there for you. So remember that while, we may have various conversations with our partners, the people around us, about being overburdened and whatnot, it doesn't mean that helping one another feels that way. And if you can think about times when people unexpectedly asked you for support, and again, we're not talking like every day you do nothing and you're just asking them to do everything, but really, asking for it from your heart. You'd be surprised at, you're giving people an opportunity to feel useful and helpful and having a purpose and bringing joy to your life. And that releases some of that tension that we talked about before. And there's fear in there too, fear of of asking for support and getting rejected. And remember that even if they say no this time, uh, there can be a different time. And just also do your best to not do that tricky thing that our subconscious can do, which is ask that person in good timing. Don't set yourself up. They're sitting, they're really hungry or running out the door and they're not fully listening. That's not the time to ask. So, really consider the times when you ask for that support and notice how you feel when you get it. There's that release. And it might not be like this, instantly open and receiving, but there's oh, did I freeze? There we go. But there will be slow increments, it's micro movements. Give yourself grace for that. And so, my challenge for you this week would be to find a couple little things to just give yourself a chance and that good timing to ask for support or to just say yes when somebody offers something. They offer support, they offer help. I bet you'll be surprised at how many times you notice that you automatically want to say no. Uh, hey, can I help you with that? Carrying something. Or can I, if you need anything, if you're ill or something like that, or you're not feeling good, that friends will, a neighbor who's going to the store anyway is more than happy to go and help you. So just some things to think about, little things. Fear is strong. I can even feel in my belly this tension because there's been a lot in the politics lately and how much it affects you when there's that tension. I was talking to a client and friend yesterday because I feel like anybody who's my client, anybody who I get into a relationship with, whether they started out as friends or they started as clients, ultimately we become a circle of women who are supporting one another just through the energy, even if you don't all meet up yet. One of these days, maybe you will. It will happen. Right now, just remember that you're not alone, and when you're feeling the uncertainty, just almost even physically, I would take a moment and take 3 deep breaths in and out, and literally create a circle around you and make it porous, like there's certain membranes, like masks, condoms, um, fabrics, tents, they let waterproof breathable fabric is a perfect example. I was going to use condoms, but maybe that's too now. But waterproof breathable. So it lets the air in, but it doesn't let the water molecules in. And that's the kind of bubble I would encourage you to create, being aware that the love, the light, the support can get in. You're not blocking, you're not creating walls, but yet that which is putting too much pressure on your shoulders is creating contraction. It can stay out. Take news cleanses. Just take tech cleanses where you step back and you go into nature or you look at photos of times when you were traveling or you have that special cup of tea or I think of this right now. I would get a little nervous on YouTube, so I have this. There's this amazing smell called luscious embodiment. So good. Whatever it is, small things that you can do. You don't have to go get on a plane and go to Fiji, but you can do it on an internal way. And I'm always going to you to find your ways. Make sure you have something in your pocket that's not literally, but on an energetic level, songs or scents or something that can bring you back in the times when you feel the most contraction. So right now, just open up your shoulders, allow your heart to receive and be open, be present for whatever it is that is asking to. Yes, that is such a good way to communicate. Thank you. Yeah. So many times, most of what's happening in our lives, in our bodies, in our world is about communication. It's about giving yourself permission to say no. I don't need your advice. I don't need that information. I don't want to hear that right now. I opened up an email yesterday and or a text message from a friend talking about some accident that a child had had. And I got one sentence in and I just had to stop. I felt my whole body doing this. And it's not that I don't want to know or be a part of that family members, or it was a friend of a friend actually, uh, issue. I just knew that I couldn't take it on in that moment. And so I encourage you, I give you permission to just say stop when you need it and go when you need it. Stop to the things that are creating tension and, red light, green light it, okay, and bring in the support, bring in the reception. What brings you to that? I remember, Angela, didn't we talk about dancing at one point? How dancing kind of frees something in you, and I don't know about you and you, but when I dance, I feel more alive. Something releases. I feel my body feels me. Um, that's just an example of something that kind of reconnects, you together. Um, so, what is it this week that could help and support that? Any other questions while we're here? And you're welcome, if you're watching this on the replay, you're welcome to, throw a question down in the comments. I do answer them personally. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do that right down below, and subscribe and like. It helps other people find the video. And I'm going to be doing this every Friday at 10 o'clock. It's freeing, talking about the dancing. Love it. Well, if there aren't any other questions, I wanted to stay at least 22 minutes today. That felt right here on September 10th. September 11th is tomorrow. For those who are in the US, remember these moments today of creating that space that you need. If you need to mourn, I mourn any violence against anyone in the world. It's not just 9/11, but definitely tomorrow is a reminder of stress and tension. And all around the world, there are so many things that have happened, and we can't control that always. We can just do our best to keep in integrity and love and light. And you are here in this family of light, and with your prayers, meditation, energy, and everything that you do and don't do, it's all a part of the story of everyone else that is connected to us and is near us, and on a subtle level echoes out more light and possibility, less fear, less contraction, and more opening to what's possible. I wish you a beautiful and incredible, imperfect, and receptive week, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye. Oh, you're welcome. I felt a shift inside of me. Thank you very much for doing this. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Angela, for being here. Thank you for coming on the replay. I wish you a great day, and I'll see you soon.